want to, of course, thank the California Democratic Party for endorsing my campaign. I want to thank the Contra Costa Democratic Party for endorsing my campaign. I want to thank the Contra Costa Labor Council, which represents over 80,000 workers in Contra Costa County. The men and women who build stuff in our communities, the men and women of the Contra Costa Construction and Trades Union for supporting my campaign. I want to thank the men and women, the healthcare workers, who take care of each and every one of you in this room.
Yes.
SEIU, United Healthcare Workers, for endorsing my campaign. I can go on and on about the organizations that support me, like Our Revolution, which came out of the Bernie Sanders campaign, but there wouldn't be enough time. But I do want to thank everybody for your support. All the kind words that were said today, you know, I would be wrong in taking credit for all of that, because that comes in partnership. It comes in partnership with Councilwoman Tamisha Torres Walker. It comes in partnership with the Vice Mayor of Antioch, Monica Wilson. And interestingly enough, believe it or not, because the blogs will have you believing something else. In my first year as mayor, I had this council working their butts off. 525 votes we took. In my first year as a city council member with the previous mayor, we took 335 votes. That means I increased productivity of our council by 57%. And over the last 4 years, we've always maintained a voting record of in the high 400s. So we haven't let up. We have not let up to deliver the changes that all of you asked 4 years ago. To deliver the changes you asked for. Nothing here happened because 3 people got together and said, this is what we're going to do. It happened because in November of 2020, a poop load of people went to the polls and said, we're electing you, the mayor, we're electing you to represent District 4, and we're electing Tamisha to represent District 1. But, believe it or not, we have voted unanimously 92% of the time. I have delivered an agenda that is bipartisan, irrespective of what the whack jobs tell you on social media. Everyone has had a voice in this agenda. Everyone has had their policies advanced because of my leadership style. Now I know, it's not easy to work with me. Because I demand a lot. I demand a lot. But because you deserve a lot. You deserve the best. Every single person, whether you're like my friend Bates who grew up here in Antioch, you deserve the best. You deserve the best government that's going to deliver on the change and continue to build a city that's inclusive for all people. Every single person. And, believe it or not, contrary to the whack jobs on social media, who think it's doom and gloom here in the city of Antioch, in case they haven't read the news, Antioch is still one of the fastest growing cities in Northern California. Meaning, people choose to come here. They choose opportunity. They choose affordability compared to everywhere else in the Bay Area. We have a lot to be proud of in this city. Have we had our challenges in the last 4 years? Yes. No one is blinded to that. We're building a stronger police department.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But the police department, when it was all revealed that we had some challenges, we didn't sit around and twiddle our thumbs. The first thing I did was got on TV, you know I'm good at that, and said, and I announced a $40,000 incentive program to attract new officers because we knew we were going to have an attrition problem because of the FBI investigation. That's leadership.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's not waiting for things to just get better.
Right.
We took decisive action.
Yeah.
And guess what? Because of that incentive program, we have hired 36 new police officers that are reflective of this room. Absolutely, we have a police oversight commission. Because you demanded that. Absolutely, we're tackling the homeless issue. It's not easy. I talk to mayors, by the way, mayors across this country who have endorsed me, who have the exact same issues. But you know why Vice President Kamala Harris invited me to her home earlier this year?
Wow.
To talk about the investments we made in this city with the American Rescue Plan funds. That's why I was invited. And by the way, I haven't heard of any other mayor being invited to the White House. I'm just saying. But this man was.
That's right.
And the reason we were invited was because they wanted to know, what were you doing?
Right.
And I was proud to tell the Vice President, we invested in transitional housing. We master leased the hotel to ensure that we're taking people, not just pushing them around from corner to corner, even though that is exactly what we do. We can do better. But we at least have new avenues to give people hope and opportunity. Go to our hotel right now. I challenge any one of you. If you pay attention to people who live on our streets, you will find those individuals living in that hotel right now. There are people who now have permanent housing because of that hotel. Because of that hotel. And yes, it was a 3-2 vote. That was a 3-2 vote. That was that 8% where we did not agree. And so she wanted to know about the mental health crisis response team because we're the only city in Contra Costa County that delivers care to our community. So I said, yes, Madam Vice President, we do that. Let me tell you what else we do. We're the only city that provides direct workforce development for those who have been justice involved. We went to Sycamore again. No one is saying it's perfect. Is it work to do? There's lots of work to do. But at least we tried. We made an effort.
That's it.
We made an effort and created a program called the Mayor's Apprenticeship Program where we take kids who were literally selling drugs out that corner to come work for our city for 6 to 8 months with Public Works. And we are now about to be on our 4th cohort of young people we've taken off the streets and giving them an opportunity. We partner with nonprofits. We literally this year set aside close to $300,000 because we recognize that we need stronger nonprofits to be partnered with in our community. And so we set that money aside for capacity building. Capacity building. For those nonprofits who may not necessarily have a location or staff, you finally get the opportunity to build infrastructure so that you can deliver services here in the city of Antioch. We're doing that. We're doing that. And of course, we talked about housing earlier. We're one of the few cities in the entire state of California, a state of 38 million people, 38 million people, who protects its citizens with housing policy. That's right. Rent stabilization. Because we know the rent is still too damn high. Anti-tenant harassment policy. Because we know that there are a few landlords who don't know how to act. And we set a standard and say, you're going to treat our residents with respect and dignity, and if you don't like it, there's the door. And on Tuesday, we take the last vote for Just Cause. Those policies are literally 4 years in the making. 4 years we've worked our butt off to get those policies in place here in the city of Antioch. Because we do care. And we continue to expand as we continue to build an inclusive community. We've done things we've never done before, like celebrate Juneteenth. We celebrate the Dia de los Muertos. El Dia de los Muertos. Para celebrar a nuestra gente, que son latinos.
Pan-African flag.
We flew the Pan-African flag. We're the only city to have ever flown the Progress Pride flag year-round when people were attacking our LGBTQ plus brothers and sisters, because guess what? In Antioch, they have a place in this community. We've opened new businesses, contrary to what the bloggers will tell you. Antioch is now home. Antioch is now home to the second largest car transporter in North America. We're a marine terminal. This young lady here used to work in Benicia. She recently got transferred to our marine terminal. So we're building jobs.
We hiring too.
They're hiring. I can go on and on about all the achievements, but I won't do that because we don't have enough time, because we also got to eat. But I just want to say that it has been my honor to serve as your mayor for the last 4 years. It has not been an easy job. It has not been an easy job. It has not been an easy job. And the reason it hasn't been an easy job is because for a long time in the city of Antioch, the chief of police was the mayor of Antioch. Yes. The chief of police. And when I came in, I said, well, the people gave me this title and this responsibility, and the buck stops with me. Yes. So I took on responsibilities that normally mayors don't take. Normally, historically, our mayors have really hid behind closed doors. They haven't been transparent. They haven't been accessible. That's not because of one individual, that's just been the culture here. Right. And I have stepped forward and I have put my face on everything.
Yes.
And I have owned up to our progress, but I've also owned up to our failures. Right. I didn't hide behind anybody and say, oh, the police problem is the city manager's problem. I said, this is our damn problem and we're gonna fix it. I didn't hide behind anybody and say it's the city manager's responsibility to deal with all the encampments and I'm sorry I can't do anything. No. We have a hotel because I worked my butt off. And I will say that I worked my butt off to get that hotel open.
Thank you.
Campaigns bring the ugly out.
Right.
And so I do my best to, we have rallies and get excited. And so, these campaigns, you're going to hear a lot of nonsense. Here's what I'm going to share with you. For 8 years, I served this country in the United States Navy.
Yes, you. God bless you. Thank you.
It was the first oath that I ever took, the oath of enlistment, to uphold the values of our country. And that oath represented not something physical, it represented something ideological about who we are as Americans. Since I was 18 years old, I've been taking the oath. Taking the oath. And I often talk about being a young sailor and chipping paint and chipping rust. But what I rarely talk about is what I actually used to do after chipping rust and getting my mind right. And so I graduated from the Naval Justice School as a paralegal. And where I was assigned to work was what is called a trial service office. That's foreign to many of you because that's military talk. But it's the prosecutor's office. So I assisted 6 prosecutors in my role as a sailor. 6 prosecutors. I have sat in jail cells to walk people through what charges they're going to have. I have read people their rights. When I was on the ship, I had the authority to arrest people. And so, whatever it is that you hear, just know I have looked at predators in the eye. I have seen them go off to prison for victimizing people, whether it's women or children. Real predators. Not allegations.
Right.
Not, oh, I think I heard about it over here.
Right.
I put real predators behind bars. So I challenge anybody who has something to say to come say it to my face.
Come on, say it.
Because I have nothing to be ashamed of. I only have everything to be proud of because I know how I served this country. I know how I served when I was a student president at George Washington University, and then later on, as a graduate student sitting on the university's hearing board. That's the Academic Disciplinary Review Board. So that means I expel people for violating the student code of conduct. That's my record. That's who I am. And if you're confused about it, come talk to me. There's a lot of work we got to do to get Democrats elected up and down the ticket. Yesterday, I literally just flew in last night from Arizona, campaigning for Kamala Harris. As I serve as a surrogate for the campaign.
Praise God. Bless you. There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
But I don't know what other mayor in Antioch has asked me, speaking on behalf of a presidential candidate, but this one has. I have.
Right.
And
Talk about it.
before I close, I just want to say this election is so important. But it is.
Yes, it is.
If you haven't read Project 2025 in the 900 plus pages of how they're trying to dismantle the Department of Education, they want to get rid of Title I. You know what Title I is? I was born in prison, raised by a family who immigrated to this country from Mexico, didn't learn English until I got to school, was in special education throughout my academic career. Title I is the meal that feeds that poor kid at the public school.
Lord have mercy.
Title I is the special ed services that help kids like me. They want to they want to continue to attack women, the real predators, the Republican Party. They want to continue to attack women by stripping you of more of your rights. More of your rights with a national abortion ban. I mean, how much more do they want to go? They want to take us back to a pre-1940s America. That's right. They do. Read Project 2024 and you'll see. 25, whatever it is, garbage. They want to take us back to a time that just wasn't good for anybody.
Right.
Anybody.
Right.
Black, white, purple, green, or red, anybody. It just wasn't great.
Right.
And so we have a lot of work to do to get Kamala Harris elected President of the United States. We got to get Adam Schiff elected to the United States Senate. By the way, my opponent gave hundreds of dollars to the quack job running against him. So when he tells you that he's not a Republican because he switched his political party, it's all a bunch of bull crap. And we got to get these outstanding women elected to the Speaking of, one of the things that I'm exceptionally proud of is that, I'm not saying that I did everything, but I did have a hand in electing most of the women elected officials in the city of Antioch. I had a hand in that. And I'll continue to have a hand in that.
Yes, sir.
To ensure that we get the right people elected to office.
Yes, sir.
And so I could not have been more inspired to hear these two women speak.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I can see that when they win,
Yes.
oh, it's on and cracking. And these are very humble women.
Yeah.
Humble. Because Olga didn't talk about how her grandfather came to this country. Her grandfather came to this country fighting for a better way. That's right.
Whoa.
Her mother is the first in her family to get a bachelor's degree. Her mom fought so that Olga can then go get a bachelor's degree and a master's degree.
Open up.
Olga fought so her daughter can have a PhD. That's the story of immigrants in our country.
That's the story.
I still think about Donald Trump coming down that escalator, talking about Mexicans are giving us their worst and I don't know what else.
Wow.
And here are the examples. And I want to say to both Latinos and African Americans in this space right here, right now, we got to stop buying into that bull crap that we see on Fox News. If I hear another person talk about migrants and this and that, and they're taking over this, I'm going to lose my mind.
That's right.
Because that's precisely what they want.
Yes.
Right.
That is precisely what they want.
Right.
These are the real stories.
That's right.
Put that on Fox News.
Right.
Right.
That's real.
And then we've got an outstanding city clerk, city treasurer candidate.
Yes.
It's Jorge. Jorge came to this country as a little boy from Peru. Came to this country as a little boy from Peru. And he's standing up here talking about he's running for city clerk of our city. City treasurer. And then we've got these two outstanding candidates for city council.
Yes.
Two strong black men defying all of the stereotypes
Yes.
and offering themselves of service to this community. This is what I'm about.
That's right.
If you look at the other side, where are those Back to the Future signs? Put those up. They're rolling out. Ron Burnell, who spent 20 years in City Hall, 20 years, talking about he's changed. They rolled out Don Freitas, the former mayor from decades ago. They rolled out the retired principal of Antioch High School. You don't know boo. We don't need boo. I'm just telling you who they're rolling out. And I'm telling you this because it's important to know. It's important to know what this is all about. And it's about stopping our progress, stopping the growth. But you can't stop a wave.
No, you can't. No, you
We're here.
We're here.
And we ain't going nowhere.
All right.
And so I want to thank everybody for being here today. We're not going back. We're not going back. We're not going back. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. And we're going to win on November 5th. And we're going to continue on the change that we started 4 years ago.